About a week and a half ago, I recorded this short. I wonder if there's a correlation between ADHD and pyromania. I looked it up. And yes, indeed, there is a correlation. Pretty good one, actually. If you have ADHD, you have a 25% chance of developing symptomology around pyromania. Does that mean that all people with ADHD are going to be pyromaniacs? Absolutely not. What it means is that we have a higher tendency towards pyromania than our general population. Interesting. So I want to talk a little bit about pyromania and arson and how those are different, because there's this misconception that people who commit arson are pyromaniacs, and actually in most cases that's not true, because people who commit arson are committing a crime and start fires for monetary reasons, political reasons, to cover up a crime. And their drive is not the same as that of a person with pyromania, because a person with pyromania has an impulse control disorder. If you know ADHD, that should sound familiar, because ADHD is an impulse control disorder as well. So this is where our lineup starts to happen. So people with pyromania set fires to relieve tension, anxiety, those types of things in their body. There's a physical buildup before they start the fire, and then there's a release after they start the fire. Oftentimes it's compulsive, and they really can't stop themselves from actually starting the fires. In the population, actually less than 1% of people have actually been diagnosed with pyromania. It's pretty uncommon. So I found out that there are 3 areas in which ADHD and pyromania have a strong correlation. The first of which is impulsivity and sensation seeking. As ADHDers, we are seeking sensory input to keep our dopamine levels up all the time. People who get a little bit of a dopamine hit from starting fires then are a little bit more open to being susceptible to pyromania or fire starting. So it's a risky activity that gives us that thrill. So there's an overlap with our impulsivity and sensation seeking, and that of the impulsivity and sensation seeking that goes along with pyromania. Also, executive functioning deficits have an impact as far as planning, organizing, and controlling our behaviors. So a lot of times people with ADHD have a hard time seeing the consequences of their actions as they're doing them or beforehand. So foresight in setting a fire is not always there. And it's not with pyromaniac, and it's not with a person with ADHD. So another overlap is that executive functioning deficit that just plays right into playing with fire. So the third one is emotional dysregulation. And emotional dysregulation is when you have difficulty managing and expressing your emotions in healthy and appropriate manners. This is very common with people with ADHD. It is also really common with people with pyromania, because of the fact that there's this emotional issue that makes it hard for you to control your emotions for the time that you are setting a fire, or for ADHD, a lot of other things that we might do, but for a pyromaniac, it would be starting a fire. You feel like you have a sense of control over your emotions, a sense of control over your life, and a sense of an emotional release. So somebody with pyromania might be like, I can't take it anymore. I'm angry. I'm emotionally dysregulated, and they start a fire. People with ADHD will do something impulsive as well sometimes, not always surrounding fire. That's where the lineup comes in with those 2 things. So impulsivity and sensation seeking, executive dysfunction, and emotional dysregulation all play into the fact that people with ADHD often have symptomology of pyromania. Like I said, doesn't mean that they all have it. So that in a nutshell is what I found out about pyromania and ADHD and how they align and how they are correlated. So I hope you've enjoyed my research-based response to my own question. I put a question out there. I'm like, I should probably answer it. So if you enjoyed this video and this content, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.